What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and today I have a special kind of video for you all. This, as you can tell by the title of the video, this is my top 5 things that I personally want to see come to the Arkhamverse, or even continue, just depends on the context that I'm talking about at that specific time. So, I've seen a lot of videos. I've gotten requests for me to do this video, and for me to give my opinions on what the Arkhamverse should go to, what it should do after the devastating downfall of Suicide Squad killed Justice League. So without further ado, let's get right on into this right now. Alright, so the first thing on my list is obviously the remakes. The remakes are definitely something that I would be down for, or the remakes is something that I am okay with. I know a lot of people are not wanting that, and they say it's because, it could ruin Kevin's legacy, but I disagree entirely. I think with the remake option, they have the opportunity to not only kind of start all over and get right with the fans, but think about it, guys. If you guys are not aware, with Arkham Asylum itself, there was a lot of cut content. In fact, there was this whole bit of the game where you go to the lighthouse, and just as an example, there's obviously a few things that is also missing from the game or was cut from the game. But
Alright.
I think this is a great opportunity for Rocksteady to kind of, not necessarily reboot it completely, but kind of do something different and also establish that they are still well deserved to do this series anyway. With the remakes, it is, I think it's a good idea personally. Is it the best thing? No, there are better options, I will admit that, but with reboots, remakes, I think it's a great thing, and technically the Kevin trilogy, or the Kevin part, could become legacy games, basically. The founders of the series, as you may call it. That way it's Kevin's universe, and then you have the Arkhamverse that is Roger Craig Smith, basically. So yes, obviously, number 1 is remakes. And of course, my second thing that the Arkhamverse could introduce or bring in is obviously to continue way into the future with the Arkhamverse in Batman Beyond. Now, let me get this very clear. This is one that is, least on my list. If I was putting this from 5 to 1, this would probably be number 5 for me. But, like I said, this is in no particular order. This is just me giving you guys my opinions. So, obviously, Batman Beyond has been heavily requested, especially recently, but before we go to Batman Beyond time, before we dive into the future, I just have to say one thing. I don't think it's time, personally. It's not time yet. We haven't established Bruce as a too old character, or he's too old to be Batman. And that's what Batman Beyond is. When we last left off with Batman, technically he just returned in Suicide Squad, and he's still very much alive and very young, even though he's in his probably late 40s at this point. So, it's not time yet. In my opinion, we need a few more Batman games, like Bruce Wayne games anyway, and maybe even a Bat Family game before the Batman Beyond game. Now, am I against it? Heck no. I've watched the series. It was really good. I am definitely up for it. It's just, in my opinion, not time yet. So yes, obviously the second thing is Batman Beyond. Number 3 on my list is obviously doing more prequel stuff. Now, a lot of people are saying that they should forget the whole, Kevin era, and not necessarily forget it, but like don't do anything else with it, especially after Suicide Squad, and just focus on prequel stuff. I actually do not agree with that. Why is it on this list? Because I do want to see more prequels, don't get me wrong. They just don't need to totally focus on the prequels and nothing else. I think with prequels, what they could do to make it better is to say that the Arkham Origins trilogy, so that would be Arkham Origins, Blackgates, and now Shadows, is its own universe, and then continue on with that. Leave Kevin's stuff in its own universe as a legacy universe. That's what I think they should do. That way, that also doesn't really affect continuity with the games that have been continuity-wise heirs, I should say. As you all know, Arkham Origins and that trilogy has its own problems when it comes to what is canon in later games. I've always said this: when you do a prequel story, and this goes for anything, that's Star Wars. If they ever do a Spider-Man thing, Batman, obviously, with the Arkhamverse, you have to pay attention to what the later games, or I should say, the games that came before. If you're going to do a prequel, you need to pay attention to what they did. And I think the best thing to do is to leave Kevin's universe as its own thing, respect it, but take Roger's stuff and make it into his own universe. That way you could do whatever you wanted. Now, I know a lot of people probably won't like that, but I feel like that truly is the best thing, especially if you're going to try to do your own thing and not pay attention to what Kevin's universe did. That's just my opinion. Obviously, prequels, what I want to see with prequels, I want to see, Scarecrow's introduction. I know we kind of got his introduction in Shadows, but that was more of him testing out the fear toxin. I want to see the actual character Scarecrow. I want to see Harley Quinn's her introduction to becoming Harley Quinn. I know once again we kind of saw that, but they need to actually show the first time that she's putting on the costume, and actually maybe like the first boss battle with her against Batman anyway. I know they have Scarface stuff that they're hinting towards. We obviously already got Two-Face. We got Black Mask in Origins, kind of. We got Joker, that turned out to be the whole main villain in Origins. Blackgate stuff they did really good with. I'm actually a fan of Blackgate, believe it or not. It is a really good game, if you guys haven't played it. But yes, that's what they could do with prequels. So obviously, that's number 3 on my list. Let's move on to the next one. And so real quick, before I finish off my list, I do want to point out reboots real quick. Reboots, like rebooting the whole thing, once again, that kind of ties into the prequel stuff. But just, if you're going to do a reboot, what you honestly need to do is, especially if you are rebooting the series, you need to just take Roger Craig Smith's stuff and make that the focal point, the starting point of your reboot, as everyone is claiming. If you are going to do a reboot, I think that's what you should do, and that kind of leads into my prequel stuff, kind of, and that's why I wanted to touch on reboots just a little bit. I'm putting it into prequels, their whole rebooting, because that is a good idea, I feel like, anyway. But the last two I want to kind of put together. The number 1, or I guess number 4 technically, is a game in between Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad. I want to see what Batman was up to while he was in hiding, or that became the fear bats, as I like to call it, at the end of Arkham Knight. I want to see maybe him actually meeting the Justice League, Superman coming to him maybe at the very end to kind of hint towards Suicide Squad. I know how people feel about Suicide Squad. I get that. I'm kind of on the same page with you guys now. I still don't hate the game. Yes, it has its problems, but it's not that bad of a game, in my opinion, which if you see my Suicide Squad review, full game review, I should say, go check that out. Once again, the playlist will be linked at the very end. So yes, I want to see that, and then coming in at the very last spot, so this would be number 5, or the very last thing on my list, is continue from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, a lot of people might be like, whoa, hold on now, hold on. What do you mean continue from Suicide Squad? That was a piece of S game. Why are you wanting it to continue? Well, I'll tell you why. It goes back to me saying Arkham Beyond. If you want to introduce Arkham Beyond, you have to have something that came after Suicide Squad. And in my opinion, like I said in Arkham Beyond, you need to establish Bruce. He can't be Batman anymore because he's old, he's getting slower, maybe something goes wrong, maybe he was shot in the back, and then he couldn't walk again. I know that's kind of like Oracle, but at the same time, we need to establish a reason why Bruce can no longer be Batman before Terry McGinnis shows himself and is ready to take up the mantle in the Arkhamverse. So yes, that is the reason why I think we need games that continue from Suicide Squad. So that is all of my rankings, or not my rankings, sorry, my list. So just to recap, I talked a little bit with reboots. That kind of falls into prequels a little bit. So there's prequels, Arkham Beyond. We got a game in between Suicide Squad and Arkham Knight. We have continuing from Suicide Squad, and of course we have the remakes. So technically that's 6 things right there, but I kind of combined 2 into 1. But yeah, that's my list. That's my reasonings of what they could do. That's stuff I want to see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. I've seen lots of videos. I want to give my 2 cents just to see if anybody else is feeling how I'm feeling. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. Check out the playlist that will be linked at the end screen at the very end. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Have a good day, everybody.